her back.
Jurassic World Dominion is a completely different kind of film than any of the other Jurassic movies have been. The dinosaurs are out in the world. They are creating havoc, and genetic power has reached a point where it's threatening the survival of life on this planet. I wanted to direct the third film because just being able to wrap up the story we've been telling the whole time, to be able to take these characters who I care about and make sure that they find a home together and feel safe. And I include the dinosaurs in that, the T-Rex. These are characters from our childhood who we love, and so making sure that all of these stories are wrapped up in a way that feels consistent, that when you watch all three movies together, it feels like one long story, which I really believe it does. That was really important to me, and the fact that we made it during a pandemic was really challenging. I was directing a movie in two different countries at the same time. It was hard, but we did it. I wanted it to be a warmer film than the previous two. We were kind of a cold blue in Jurassic World, and then in this film I wanted it to feel like a big, robust, romantic adventure. It's shot on film, which is really important to me, and hopefully by the time you get to the end of it, you will feel like you've been through a lot, and the people just look tired and bruised, and that's the kind of adventure I like. From a production design standpoint, it's really important to me and Kevin Jenkins, our designer, that we are as practical as possible at any given turn. So we didn't make a movie in a computer. There are not digitally designed backgrounds. We built 112 sets. We made animatronic dinosaurs. We put people in real environments with real animals so they could look around and be confident that they were actually there. And then the biggest challenge when you build something that's as spectacular as some of the things that we built, to make sure not to constantly just be in a giant wide shot showing off your amazing set to the audience, but really get in there and live in it as if it's a real place. It was very important to use animatronics because not only is that a legacy, it's what made us love Jurassic Park so much, is that we actually saw those animals were real. But in our film, because we have such great actors, to be able to provide them the opportunity to not be emoting across from a tennis ball, but actually be able to reach out and touch something in the way that Laura Dern does in her scene when she moves her finger back and forth. The puppeteers naturally reacted to what she was doing, so there was an actual exchange between living things, which I think is extremely special.
What is that?
Biggest carnivore the world has ever seen.
Run!
The reality of these movies, I think, really matters. It's one of the very few franchises where the main characters are just regular people. They're professionals, they're scientists, they're parents. And so I wanted to make sure the whole world felt as if it actually existed, because we are talking about some real world scientific issues in the film. Some of the dangers that we present are dangers that exist. And so the closer we can get it to our reality, I think the more believable it's going to be. Some of the more insane things that we do in the film that you're going to buy it. Working with this cast was just one of the most satisfying creative experiences that I've had, because I was able to work with legendary actors like Laura Dern and Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, B.D. Wong, and then these good friends of mine who I've been making these movies with for 8 years, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and then these new friends who I think make as much of an impact on this movie as any of the legends and icons who have come before, in Mamadou Ache and DeWanda Wise and Tishan Lockman. All of them together as one group, especially at the end when they're literally all together as one group, was just such a wonderful experience. And it was during a really challenging time. We were all very afraid. We were making a film during COVID, and yet because of all of these people, because they have such brilliant skill sets and also just beautiful souls, we managed to get through it together. I wanted to pay homage to the spirit of Jurassic Park, but I didn't want to make a carbon copy of Jurassic Park. And that's something that I've really focused on in each of the movies. We feel like in order to honor what Steven created and what Michael Crichton created, we have to aggressively bring new ideas to the table, because that's what they did. And so these movies are different. They're a completely different kind of experience, and yet I know that Jurassic Park's never going away. They'll all be there for people to enjoy together. So to me, it was making sure that the characters that we were bringing back felt like they were presented in a way that was honest and authentic and real, and you actually believe these were human beings who've been alive for the same 30 years that some of us have been alive for, and a lot's happened in those 30 years. People love this franchise, but I think they just love dinosaurs. And however we present dinosaurs in each of these films, I hope that at all times it taps into, yes, a fear that we have of them, but also a humility that we have in the face of them, this recognition that they walked the earth, they share the same soil as us, and yet they look so different and lived so long ago and actually lived so much longer than we have. It's just a very grand idea and a really unique relationship between, you know, movie creature, movie monster, and audience. When people leave the theater, I really hope that there's a sense that we made these movies for a reason. And we weren't just making a bunch of situations where people could get chomped by dinosaurs, even though we do that, and I enjoy it. These are movies that did have something to say, and ultimately we landed in a place that hopefully you can walk out of there with your family feeling a sense that we are small and we are fragile, but also we can succeed and we can survive if we do it together.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.